who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Go
Go
for it,
ahead,
Chad.
Sandy. Oh,
Oh,
of course. Ladies first.
um,
Yes.
okay. My name is Sandy Groom-Meeks. I am a tech integration consultant, AI learning consultant in Northwest Iowa. Prior to that, I was a tech instructional coach and also a tech director. So I've been in tech for um, many years, more than am willing to admit. And I retired and didn't like retirement, and then ChatGPT came along, and I was hooked. So Chad and I are consulting with schools to help them implement AI within the districts.
Love it.
Chad, take it away.
Chad. Chad Sussex, and at 712 assistant principal at Winterset High School in Winterset, Iowa, and also the district's AI task force leader. And we've been on that journey for 2.5, 3 years now, and just super excited about the work that we've done at Winterset, and now with Sandy and I working together, having written a book and working with schools. Just yeah, really excited about doing that work.
Yeah, amazing duo, these two. Full disclaimer, I've gotten to know Chad and Sandy over the last year, and even Chad, I've known a couple years from, iTech and then working with Winterset Schools. And just a shout out to Winterset Schools and all the like really cool things they're doing with kids. And I think AI is going to definitely accelerate some of those really cool things you guys are doing. So definitely a lot of knowledge in this room. But let's like dig into, obviously, Sandy, I heard the passion of like, yeah, I retired, but then this happened and now I'm back. Like I guess, what started or sparked this passion? And I guess, how does that influence what you're doing now with schools? We'll start with Sandy.
Okay,
Ladies first. I like that.
okay. This is kind of a story. So sorry, I'll try to make it as brief as I can.
Love
So
stories.
back in 1977, you probably weren't even born yet. 1977, I was in college. It was winter in Brookings, South Dakota, and
Oof.
I was programming on cards. And the cards at the time were like 3 by 7, and they would punch, and each command was a card and a punch. And so you'd have a program with hundreds of cards, and then you'd have to take the cards and we'd send them off to peer to run. So it would be weeks before we'd know if our program would even run.
Oh my gosh.
So I was programming. I had all my cards in the box. I walked out of the building. It's winter, slipped on the ice. I went down, the cards went up in an algorithm shower, and I swore I would never touch another computer again as long as I lived. And here we are.
And whoops,
So
oops, I did it again.
life is ironic. And I
Yeah.
got I got hooked when the Apple IIe's came out in the early 80s.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I've been loving it ever since then.
Sandy, I need to introduce you to my mother. Like you and her have similar passion and definitely an Apple girl, I hear. So,
Yes, yep.
yep, same, same. Chad, what about you?
The seed was planted for me when I was in the army station in a really bad place. Of course, you wouldn't want to go to Hawaii for 3.5 years.
Oh, that sounds
Um,
awful.
it was terrible. So I was working for a sergeant major of our brigade, and he had his one of his main jobs was taking care of all the enlisted soldiers where everybody was at, and so he had this one spreadsheet, and this one spreadsheet had formulas upon formulas upon formulas, and I, being his aide, was in charge of running the formulas and the spreadsheet. And when I first got the job, I didn't even know what a spreadsheet was, and the learning curve wasn't
Oh
allowed to
yeah.
be steep.
Spreadsheets are hard, especially like back then. Like, oh man, they're easier now, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, and so that was the seed planting. Over time, got my website certification, and just had a kind of a trajectory going upward on technology, and then became a technology instructor and tech coach before this, and
Oh
it's
wow.
just been a fun path getting here.
Yeah. And now you're in leadership, so you get to like merge both worlds of like tech and leadership in Winterset. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
It's interesting how so much of the things that I have learned and done in the past help and support the work that I'm doing now, and then help help other, whether it's teachers or other administrators and advice, and the kind of a little bit of the go-to person in some ways, even though we have a tech integration, so we have a tech coordinator. There's other things that are my area in the past
Right.
too, and people are starting to know that and come to me for things, which is still fun and awesome.
Well, you are very knowledgeable. I know every time I talk to you, you share something like a new AI tool or like something that does something like blows my mind every time. So yeah, I think that's cool that you both are living your passions, and now we're seeing this like boom in AI, and I have to ask, like, at least like when I'm out in schools, like I see a wide variety of like engagement. You have like your power users, and then you have those that are just like, we don't do AI. So like, what are the challenges or maybe common misconceptions out there? And how does what do you do to support schools as they like navigate some of these things that you're hearing about in the field with AI?
Oh,
Yeah, big one.
well, what we're hearing is everything from, oh my gosh, I use it all the time and I love it, to the robots are going to take over the world.
Oh yeah,
Um,
there's some fear.
there's everything in between. And I think if we can just stop and let people know, hey, we've been through this before with the advent of the internet. This is different, but we will learn to navigate it. We will survive. We'll make it work, and there will be people put in place that will help us get there. So, hopefully, Chad and I are two of them that will help people minimize the fear and use it responsibly and ethically so that it is safe for use.
It's kind of a little bit to her point is, when AI came on the scene, it wasn't like some of the others that have come along or tools where you could choose it. It was done to us, and we've had to respond. And a lot of it is the unknown. We don't know how to respond. And now, thankfully, unfortunately for Winterset, we've assembled a team to help with that. But there's still a lot of school districts out there who are in need of that type of support. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to start. So the great things that Sandy and I can certainly offer is based on the experience that we've gained from our journeys. We can help with the forming of a task force, and then doing a readiness assessment. Where are you at, and how can we help you get there? Whether that's professional development, whether that's guiding a task force, creating a policy. So there's a number of things that we can help with that, and address those unknowns that a lot of districts just don't know how to tackle this.
Would you say that's like like if you, for listeners out there, that's like your first step, like bring people together. Like let's have a conversation about where we are and where we want to go.
Exactly. And even though we've done it before, we realize and we're committed to the fact that every school has their own story, and we want to honor the pace that they want to go and the way that they want to go. We have suggestions, but we
Mhm.
really try to listen and go with what's easiest and best for them.
I love that. So customizable approach when working with you guys. I love that. And for the listeners, like any leaders out there, you definitely want to work with Sandy and Chad. They are just a delight to work with. Like I enjoy our conversations, but I always learn too. And so, and in their book, they actually, some of the stuff they're talking about right now, they walk through this, and you'll see some of those examples like of readiness and assessments and things like that, tools in the book to help you. So definitely want to plug that book, AI Express. Since as I know it's hard to like plug your own book sometimes, so I'll do it for you guys. Um, so I'm just imagining, because I know like there's some administrators listening right now. Like if you're totally like bare minimum, what are the like the red light, green lights? Like I'm thinking of the train, like there's going to be some greens, like we better go fast. But then there's going to be like points of caution. Like what are the like, for people that don't know the red light, green lights when approaching AI, things we should not do, things we should do, offhand, like what are your recommendations for that?
Well, one of the first, okay, we'll go with a simple red light.
Okay.
A simple red light is block ChatGPT, please and thank you, because
Yeah.
It's so unsafe on the data privacy security piece. If
Yes.
students or staff are entering personally identifiable information, they're using that to further train and improve their learning language models, and that's very very dangerous for the students. The adults, you should know better, but don't provide that window of opportunity for them to do something to them. So let's protect them in that regard. So I think that's a first great red light. As
Okay.
far as a green light, because you've got teachers, administrators, other staff members who can use and access AI, they're all in it. So bringing as many voices into that initial discussion would be a great green light first step. Bringing people together to start talking about how do we want to go about this, and then okay, do we want to first start with professional development? Do we want to first start with AI literacy? Have that group decide it, but have the conversations needed to get started.
I like that. That's like really good. Just adult learning theory in general, like having people take ownership and choosing, what's relevant right now to them, like where they want to start. That's good. Sandy, what about
One
you?
of
What
the
are your, yeah, red light, green lights?
well, one of the things that we found also was if you are a Google Workplace school or a Microsoft Teams school, you can use Copilot and Gemini, and because it's within the domain, the companies have said not only will we not use your data to train, we won't even look at your data. So within the domain, it's pretty safe for schools. Again, we always say, please do not put in any personally identifiable information. But if somebody slips up, at least the domain will catch it and it isn't going anywhere. And so that's why we say we don't want to, say don't use AI, but we do want it protected. And so to piggyback on what Chad was saying, one of the first things we recommend, and it isn't sequential, I mean, things happen at the same time, but tool vetting, because there's so many tools out there. It's a wild, wild west of AI going on.
I like
Um,
that image.
Look at the terms of service, um, and pick the ones where there aren't the weasel words of, well, maybe we might use your data down the road. Pick the ones that say we will not and have never used your data to train models, or we will not sell your data to a third party. Those are the tools that you want to be using, and there are a lot of them out there.
Can we use AI to read the terms? Like, could we use our AI
Yes,
to help
Yeah,
us? Because that's a lot of verbiage, right?
yes.
it is.
But I always double check because the terms of service are changing all the time. And
Mhm.
sometimes AI is older information, so we have to be careful. And it's always good to know and then check up on it.
That sounds like an orange light, like point of caution, like
Yeah.
double check. Yeah, I like that. Um, okay, so you guys were talking tools. Like now I have to ask, like, rabbit, like I gotta jump into it. Like, what is the hot tool right now? Like, what are you guys using?
Well, what do you want to do? It kind of depends on
Fair.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm really hot into video making. Like, what are your video AI go-tos?
I think one of the ones that I'm seeing a lot of hype on is Google Vids.
Okay.
I've used it a little bit, but I'm by no means the expert. If somebody wanted a professional development on it, Chad and I would become experts pretty fast.
Yeah, right?
Um,
Because
yeah,
you guys are
but
fearless. Jump in. I
it,
love that.
but Google Vids is one. Are I don't know, Laura, you're doing video stuff too. What are you
Yeah,
seeing?
Well, you guys know, like like it's it's Canva video. Like they make
Oh
some
yeah,
really good, but like at least now, and I gotta double check the policy, right? Like you only get so many that you can make in a month. And so it's like, oh, I've hit my quota and like I can't wait for the next month to be able to make more. But that one, I don't know. I'm probably like everybody else and I'll just Google like what's the like AI video creation and then I'll try like one of the top searches just to see what well, one, does it cost money? Like that's one of my like do I don't want to pay for anything, but as you know, like as it gets better and better, you're gonna pay for it, right? Like without the
right.
watermarks and like whatever the company, they have their tiers of like opting in. But yeah, I've tried a few. I just haven't like, because there's so many options, I just don't know like, well, where would I want to invest my money on? But yeah, I'm still exploring for sure.
The great thing about Canva for schools is that the enterprise level is free for
Yeah,
schools. So as consultants, we're kind of stuck, having to pay for it, but schools do get that free, and it's pretty unlimited from what I've used it.
awesome. Well, there you go.
I,
Everybody listening, jump aboard. Canva, we love you.
Yeah, yeah.
Let them know.
I don't have a lot of experience. I have not been making videos. I know I hear about Sora and Canva videos
Sora.
and Google,
Yeah.
but I I haven't been dabbling in it. Sorry.
All right. What about for just what's okay from like a process and your daily things that you do, like to create efficiency in your life? What are you currently using? Why are you laughing,
Chat
Sadie?
GPT, Chat GPT.
You're like, don't use ChatGPT, but I'm also using ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm weaning myself over to Gemini. I'm just
Okay,
saying
fair enough. But
it's a process.
isn't that funny though? Like we all got started on ChatGPT, and then it's like, well, but I'm
It's the
used to it.
go-to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I have also tried to force myself into Gemini a little bit, not because I gravitate to ChatGPT or have been, because I started off initially using Claude, and I do like that one a little bit better. But Gemini I started to, but so other things, Notebook LM is a great one because of how you can upload your own documents or sources, and then it sticks to just that content.
Love
And
that.
then I mean, more and more, we certainly love a good podcast. So it has a really great ability to create an audio overview, as they call it, but it's like a podcast and it sounds very, very real. And you can listen to a bit of a summary or what it is you're asking it specifically to provide for you. But that's a really great tool with documents that you specifically provide and then want to know more about or build something off of that lesson plan or just some other task or activity.
Okay, so everyone listening, write down Notebook LM because like that
Well,
sounds worth exploring.
and here it really is because Notebook LM is part of the core services of Google Workspace. So there you're under the umbrella. So now administrators can upload um, testing scores and resumes and query that. And you can
Teacher
upload up to
evaluation
50
documents.
files. Yeah. And now you've got some data that you're able to crunch and time save on all of the boring, horrible stuff that you hate to do as an administrator.
Right. Oh, that is so cool. Well, I love that. Thanks for bringing that up for those that maybe they're using Google, but they don't necessarily know like all that they could be doing with those connection points. So that's awesome. All right. My other question for you guys is I want to hear about like, because you guys have been out there in the field, what is like one of those success moments in your in the work that you do with others that brings you joy, but like you're making a difference? Can you guys describe an experience that you might have had with a school or a teacher, administrator, student, whoever that kind of keeps you going, fills your bucket?
I have one. I worked with a business teacher, good friend of mine, and she was working with students. This would be 10th, 11th grade students
Okay.
writing resumes.
Ooh.
And so she said, "Will you come in and talk, about the AI component of it?" And I said, "Absolutely." And so what I had them do was download their resumes after they had stripped out all of the personally identifiable information and said, "Okay, I want you to take your resume that you've worked on and I want you to upload it to Gemini and ask it, what do I need to include?" And it gave them some stuff. And I said, "Okay, now what you need to do is copy and paste in Gemini your job description. Now have it rewrite your resume to the job description." And they're like, "Oh." And I said, "Now resumes have to change for every job description because you need to write them so that your employer who is using AI will not kick out your resume. So you've got to write it for an AI screener and your job description. Boom, they're like, oh, back to the drawing board. They're totally reshaped how they were thinking about writing resumes.
I love that. Well, because when you're that young, you don't know what you don't know,
Right.
and writing a custom like until you see it, and then see the variances and see it in an efficient way. Like that would be such a great aha moment. That's awesome.
I'm gonna say mine's a little bit more on the broad sense, just because of the role of being an administrator slash AI task force leader, and through the work that we've done as a task force and guiding that work, seeing all the things that we have teachers doing and using AI for in the classroom, hearing about it, getting a chance to see it, getting the backwards here. We're like, oh, so and so just did this in the classroom. I was like, what? I didn't know about that. I want to know more. Like, tell me more, or I'm gonna go to their classroom and just kind of learn or watch from them doing it. So just seeing all the opportunities that seems to have opened up for a lot of teachers, and how they use it, how they engage students and get them curious and interested, that continues to drive a lot of the work that we do, and is so much fun. Helping to provide some of those opportunities for teachers, for students, and then hearing about it, after something's done, is like, oh my gosh, the kids love that, or I love doing that, or I can't believe I was able to create a project this way that has this level of engagement. So that's really an exciting part of it, and love sharing that with the rest of our team.
I love that. Do you think that AI has kind of reinvigorated some of the teachers? Like, you know how, I mean, after you've been teaching, you get kind of kind of stuck in your ways. Like, do you think that this, I know it shook the rug a little bit, but like, do you think it's kind of reinvigorated some?
I think I think it's at both ends of the spectrum. I think you have some who are very invigorated by it, and then others who are scared by it, and fairly, fair to them that they don't know what they don't know, or they're afraid to try it, or they've heard some things, or they maybe think they know some things about it, and so they're very apprehensive to that, and and that's okay. That's legitimate. It would be great to be able to have a conversation with them to kind of learn about where they're at and why they feel the way they do, and then not to, okay, but yeah, I can do this for you, and just start shoving stuff at them to
Right.
try to digest, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, what about this one task? Maybe it's a email parent communication. Or if that's a struggle for you, oh, this one tool, maybe we give it a try, and hey, I'll sit down and do something with you. So I mean, doing some of those kinds of things and helping teachers move along at the pace that they're comfortable moving along with, is okay, and hopefully beneficial for them. But then at the other end is, watching them kind of take the reins themselves, and just going at a speed that you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing those things. I didn't even think about that, and that's fair, because you're in the classroom, and
Right.
you are going to think about things that I'm not at this seat.
Well, they're trying to solve the problem or see, they in their context and like, yeah, like it just opens up a whole new world.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
One of the greatest areas of concern that we're seeing is with middle school and high school English language arts teachers, and rightly so.
Thank you for bringing
Um,
that up. Yes.
and and I Chad and I have come up with some ideas, but there isn't a this is the tool that's going to check for plagiarism, because the very nature of AI, there isn't a tool that will be able to successfully check for plagiarism. And really, our philosophy kind of is, before we get to that point, let's have discussion and let's build in expectations and give teachers levels of AI usage to say, okay, today we're going to use AI at this level. You can use it at this level. If you use it more than this, it's you're going to get a zero. Um,
Right.
and just have the expectations really clear, and then help train teachers on how to spot AI and have the conversation rather than you're going to fail. It's like, hey, tell me about your project.
Right. Well,
It's
and if
just
you
kind
can
of building
synthesize,
in.
yeah, like
Yeah.
have conversations and synthesize what it is you're trying to share and articulate. Because it is a tool. It's helping other writers like outside of school. Um, it's funny that you said like spotting AI. There's a term I saw recently, like on LinkedIn, AI slop. Like there's a lot of AI slop out there, and I'm sure teachers are like, this is AI slop. Like this is not this is not human or from the heart or whatever.
One
What
of
are
the
your, oh, sorry, go
I
ahead,
was just
Sandy.
going to say one of the things when I'm training teachers to spot AI, the first thing I say is, okay, AI writes like that socially awkward friend that you love, but they're very socially awkward. That's AI. And
That's
everybody
AI.
goes, "Oh, yeah, I know that person."
Yeah, that's so funny. That's like your dead giveaway.
Yeah,
Mine is always the M dash. I just feel like if I see it, it's like I question like, was this AI generated? But then the poor people that used M dashes before, like before this, they're like, dang it. But yeah, no, I think that is, I can't imagine being an English teacher right now with knowing that like especially as kids go home with it, right? Like and they're trying to get things done and they have a lot on their plate. It's like human nature, like, well, what's the easiest way to get to
right.
point A to point B? So it's kind of like you have this tool, but you can't you can't use it, but they don't know what, like that's not the point, right? Like the point is not to get it done, it's about the journey. And so how do we as educators put students in a place where they want to know and want to write and want to share and want to communicate and all those things?
And
So yeah, no,
that's a
I
bit of a gap that we have because you have this tool that is like another tool that kids have been exposed to for so long. You know, this group of students, you know, they started off with the iPad, and there's just all these tools, and so in some ways, it's like another just a tool for them, and so they're not viewing the use of AI in many ways as cheating. They're using it as, oh, it's just me being efficient with my time, and
right.
so there's that escape from also the reality that it's a lack of academic integrity when done the wrong way, but they're viewing it as, okay, this is helping me complete the work that I need to do because I have all these activities going on. Now, granted, some are just doing is like, yeah, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway. We still have those students, but guess what? We've had those students for
Exactly.
years, forever. They've
Right.
been cheating for years. Our age, when we were students, we were finding ways to cheat too. We're
Yeah.
not innocent, so it's just a different way in which going about the the
Yeah.
cheating aspect of it.
Yeah. It's like SSDD. Like we're still finding ways. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like let's like tap into more creative endeavors or like how can we, that's where I'm at with it anyway when I think about student learning and AI is like like using it as a tool to but really to help them even go deeper into blooms, like have them develop and discover and like use it as a sidekick versus a like rote memorization tool, because that's what I mean, that's there's a shift anyways going on in school from like sit and get and like lecture based and worksheets and things like that, because then AI is fine, yeah, because that's what we're doing anyways, just we're regurgitating. But like how do we get to more of the like creation and developing and synthesizing, and then I think AI can be really like a powerful sidekick in that endeavor. Thinking about,
Along with
Where
that, oh,
oh,
sorry.
go ahead, Sandy.
Along with along with that, I think we need to build in and encourage students to know that their voice is important, that what they have to say is important. And poor Chad's getting so sick of hearing me say this. Do not let AI steal your voice. Don't don't allow that. Make your
what's
voice.
that phrase you used? You came up with? What is that? I
Don't
love it.
don't trade your voice for an algorithm's echo.
Ooh.
Isn't that, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I and
Yeah.
we don't want to lose that human side. And yeah, that's like that's hitting me hard right there, Sandy. Like definitely.
And
Well, thinking.
I have to be honest, when we were writing the book, we really had to pay attention to, okay, we can use AI to help us think of an outline, But when we write, maybe there's a phrase or something we can put in, but we were really careful to say, okay, this worksheet was totally generated by AI, and here's the prompt we use. But the rest of it, it was totally us, and we're so committed to that because it's way too easy to just let AI take over.
Yeah. And I think that that's what we're seeing, like, at least what I'm seeing on like social media and LinkedIn. Like, you have all these articles and things that are being produced, and it's like, no, I want to get to the like the messy part. Like, I want to hear from the person, and because it is people work we do, and I don't think we want to lose that. Speaking of the people work, you guys are amazing, and I want the audience or whoever's listening to this, like, to get to know you guys a little bit better. This is, in my mind, people who go down this road of AI have this level of creativity too, and risk taking, and so I want to know what fuels you guys in this work, and it can be anything. Like, what keeps you going? What fills your cup? What fuels you?
The part of AI that constantly surprises me and does that mind blowing thing. Um, I found one the other day, and it was on LinkedIn, where there was a Google spreadsheet, a list of sports teams, and you can use AI and say, what sports do these teams play? And it will fill it in. And then you can say, at what state do these teams reside in? And it will fill it in. And then the one that really blew my mind was, the question I asked it was, what was the score of the last game this team played? And it gave a list of all of it. And I just went, oh my gosh, here we go. That
All
was
the
fun to see.
all the sports people are like, I need to use AI to analyze
Yeah.
and sports betting and like all the thing like this. Take the spreadsheets and like, yeah,
Yep.
I haven't thought about, but I don't do all that. I know other people do, like the fantasy football and like I want to know how people are using AI on that. Like, that's interesting.
But
So
I want
just
to know how
new things. New things are like when people do new things like
new, yeah, new things
And I can
intrigue
only
me.
imagine what sports teams are doing to use AI to analyze their players and teams' data. Like that's got to be mind blowing what they're
that. Oh yeah.
doing. For me, it's there's so many things you could get lost forever in all the different resources and blogs and podcasts and this, that, and the other, trying to stay current. There's so much, and that is a little bit of a fuel for me. It's not I'm not trying to reach find everything, but there are a lot of blogs, a lot of people to follow and read and learn from that you things that just in your own respective seat you're not going to hear about know about even if your district is like let's say Winterset and you are very deep into this AI journey and you're doing things well. There's just things you're not going to know about too, whether it's tools, concepts. Sandy mentioned the levels of AI use. So have you really given thought to that? And like, for example, there's something out there that's the red light, yellow light, green light, as far as, okay, red light when nope, can't use AI, and in orange or yellow is okay, you can use AI for this, but we're not doing this. Where we've taken and a bit more of an idea and separate it out much more so. So just those kinds of things where you're going to learn and pick up something from other people. So that really continues to drive my interest and my passion around AI and the work that Sandy and I are trying to do and support districts, and then even the things that I get to do at Winterset.
So
And I have to say, Chad, I appreciate that about you because I read a lot of stuff, but you fill my inbox with real, yeah.
I
It's like,
probably
oh,
spent too
look
Chad,
at
much.
this.
but it's but it's really good. And it's like, oh, so you're fueling me as well. Sometimes kicking and screaming, but I do read it. I'm just saying.
That's
Remember,
so true.
remember,
Chad does.
I helped pull you out of retirement a little bit,
I,
so got to keep feeding you and pulling you along.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are so cute. No, but I'm gonna echo what Sandy said, Chad, because I remember you called me one time and you're like, this just came out. Like you were like letting me know and you were so excited. And I think that we need that. Like we need like this is why you guys are change agents. Like we need people that are fearless. Like you're not afraid of the change. You're embracing the change and you're excited about it and you're finding like really useful and impactful ways of using this thing that some people, like you said, there's a continuum, are kind of afraid to go down that path. So we need that the change agents. So you guys said, well, Chad, you said there's a lot of things out there that you get excited and you read on. Who, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but like for those listening, like who should we follow or who are you following that's like inspiring you right now?
Well, for quite a while, and I think Sandy knows what I'm going to say is for quite a while now, Matt Miller's been a very resounding follow, and so he's got two
Ditto.
pieces that I follow, and it's just his ditch that textbook blog,
Yep.
and
Love
emails
it.
when and then he also has one. I don't know, Laura, you may not know about this, but he has an AI for admins,
Yeah.
a separate blog posting that he does, and he's got a lot of great things in there. Some interactive things that he posts in there. So there's from that seat, it's very helpful and beneficial. AI for Education is another great one. Amanda Bickerstaff and her group put out a lot of great content and do a lot of great things to further advocate for AI in education the right way.
Sandy, what about you? Who are you following out there?
Um,
Chad, you're following Chad.
yeah, yeah. Listening to Chad. Again, Matt Miller. We've got, oh gosh, Alice Keeler, Tony Vincent. Um, it- One of the people that I have been just thrilled with because she's addressing the K2 level of technology, which does include some AI, is Carly Mora.
Okay.
And she has a newsletter, a weekly, I believe, newsletter that addresses K2 level learning. And she's got good stuff in that.
You have to hook me up with that. I'm not on
Yeah,
that. That's,
yeah,
yeah, that sounds
that's a really good one.
She
But the
works
one
directly with
that's
Matt Miller
not,
on that one.
what's that?
She works directly with Matt Miller on that one. I think that's kind of
Oh,
a
does she?
collaboration of sorts, but
okay,
that's
cool.
but it comes from that place. Sorry, go ahead.
But But one that isn't specific to education that I have found fascinating is there's an AI for that, TAAFT, and
Oh, it's like the
it's
let
just
me Google that for you.
it's
Like there's an AI.
full of new AI stuff, and that's where it hits me is the new. Gee, I didn't think of using AI that way. And they have every week, well, maybe every several days, they have at least 5 to 10 new AI tools. Now, are they safe? Not all. No.
Yeah. So
So, yeah, I
caution.
say that with caution.
Yeah.
Try it with caution.
I'm
Awesome.
surprised you didn't mention Eric Kurtz. You're a big fan of
Oh
Eric
yeah,
Kurtz.
Eric Kurtz. Yep.
Eric, if you're listening, we did not forget
Yeah.
you. I like
Yeah.
him
Who
because he
else?
brings people together. Like he's very good at that. So, what about learning? Like, where do you go to learn? Like, if you're going in person, do you have any favorite conferences or things that you want to shout out to?
Go ahead.
We go to iTech every
Whoop, whoop.
year.
I'm a board
Yeah.
member, so I have to say yes.
We,
Go to iTech, everyone.
we go to iTech every
It's
year,
in
and
Iowa, just so you know.
It's in
yeah,
Iowa. The
I'm
Iowa is
doing
such a great place to go visit.
um, we present there, but also the perk of presenting is we get to go to the other sessions too, and
Yeah.
that's been beneficial. Um, there are, like I was recently at a STEM conference or a STEM summit, that was eye-opening as well. So, and a lot of times, Chad and I, and again, he fills my inbox with, hey, Sandy, there's this certification for this tool. Or we deep dive into a tool with certifications and just digging into them. And that's helpful as well.
That makes you an excellent sidekick. Like for schools listening, like you guys go above and beyond to learn the things. So like getting those certs so that you're ready to support schools and bring that knowledge. So that's awesome.
I've been to the ISTE conference once before, and it was okay. Sorry, it's just a lot too many people.
but I would love to be able to
Sure.
go to FETC and TCEA in Texas.
Yep.
I would love to go to those. Those probably won't happen for me this year, but there was one back in February that was in Anaheim, California, that I went to. That was a really, really great conference, and I was hoping to be able to get to the one that's the ASU GSV.
Oh yeah,
It has a pretty good price tag, but then our superintendent just told me the other day that they canceled the AI part for this year,
oh,
and because they
weird.
they're
Yeah.
wanting to make it bigger and better, and so they didn't feel like they were going to do enough justice to
Okay.
it, I think. So they're going to postpone it for next year and just do the part of the conference that did not include the AI part of it. So hopefully I can get to where we can get to that one next year. Have to save up for that one because it's got a pretty good price tag to it.
I've
But
heard
I
good.
know,
I've never been, but I've heard good things.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And the
awesome.
word is it's going to be far better than some of the other ones like the ISD, TCA, and FETC. That's just kind of the word on the street.
Uh-oh. Well, you heard it here first. No, I'll shout out. I love going to my favorite one, and I'm biased a little bit, but I love FETC. I love learning. I love going there. I love the people, and I don't know. So, if you guys are looking for a conference, come to Iowa. We have iTech. And then if you're like a newbie to like just going to a national conference, I highly recommend FETC for that. And then you'll start expanding and learning about more conferences and then going to dabble. But I think the in person is really great, and learning from people's stories and things like that is really we need that. It's people work we do. So I think we need those connection points. I know you guys, we're running out of time a little bit here, but I have like two more questions for you. The one I like to ask everyone that I ever talk to about education, because I feel like we all have it. What is your educational hill to die on? This is that thing that you're like at a dinner party and someone brings it up and maybe they have a different idea or they're not sure, but you definitely want to put your 2 cents into it because it's your educational hill to die on and you have something to say about it. What is that? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be AI, but like it probably, I mean, whatever it is, like what is that thing that you're very passionate about, your educational hill to die on?
Wow, that's being put on the spot.
I know.
I think the thing for me in talking with people is we get so bogged down sometimes in the muck and the mire of stuff that we don't sit back and go, the reason we're doing this is the kids. And I know we keep hearing that, but I really do think we have to keep telling ourselves, telling parents, telling community, it's the kids.
Hmm.
This is why we do all of this. It's the kids. So when we hear about this kid who's done this horrible thing in the hallway, it's like, yeah, that's one kid. It is about the kids. And
Yeah,
I am committed to that, and that is the hill I'll die on.
I love that.
I won't stray too far from that, and you already mentioned a word that I'm going to use is um, it, education is a partnership between the school and the family, and too often in my seat, I see that parents don't value the education enough for their children, and so they get lost in life too much where um, okay, take a little bit of negative side to it is where something happens in the classroom and the kid comes home and says it's the parent, and the parent is just so enamored in believing every word of the student. Not that they won't or couldn't or wouldn't lie or stretch the truth, but they come in and they just start attacking the educator or the administrator about this is happening in the classroom. What are you going to do about it? And then we in my seat we dig into that and we find out the other
Right.
side of this is actually what happened, and then share that, and then sometimes the parents like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, or just not valuing the educational component side enough, whether it's the homework side, the assessment side, what educators do on a daily basis. Again, it all comes back to the students, but it does need to be a partnership with the school and the family in raising these children. The common phrase that it takes a village, it really does. It's not just the teacher, it's not just the school. The parent is
even more so involved in the student's education. It needs to be, and I
Needs to
think
be.
sometimes parents forget about that sometimes a little bit.
I like how you said, like, when you say partnership, I just imagine like that cohesion. And I think sometimes we have different definitions of done or definitions of success. And so like in the leadership realm of things, like how do you communicate like what we need from you and what we'll give back, like that push and pull, the like give and take. And I think that's a great educational hill to die on, a good reminder to maybe non-educators that are listening, or just thinking about your role as a family member in your child's education. Like, what does that mean and what does that look like? That's a really important educational hill to die on. Well, I 100% agree with you guys. I will come up that hill with you on both sides of that. Um, I have one. Well, I guess this is an important question. You guys are awesome. How do people connect with you? How do they learn more? If they want to work with you, maybe they want to start a task force. What are their next steps to get with you guys?
You go ahead, Sandy, and I'll fill in the other pieces.
Um, you can connect with us on social media. We are on LinkedIn and Instagram and X, and we have a website, ailearningshift.org, that you can connect with us there. Thanks to Laura, we have that website. She helped us, she created it for us, and we are thrilled with it. Um, we also have a book on Amazon, and there's connectivity there. So there are
Show it again.
multiple ways.
Isn't it cool?
Leading the Future of Learning. Yeah. And that's just, um, the book actually takes you through the journey we went through with Winterset on implementing AI, and gives you practical tips and hints, and just kind of a roadmap of how to navigate that.
They've got conductor tips. A lot of really good ones, I might add. And you guys have like really cool artifacts of like what Winterset has done. So like real world examples of like supporting students and staff with AI implementation. So
All right, so I'll fill in some gaps. So she mentioned
Okay.
social media, but okay, let's get specific. So Sandy right now is Gadget Bum. That's her handle.
there you go. Follow her.
Mine's less creative. Most of mine are like Sussex Chad. LinkedIn, I think ours are each our regular name, Chad, Sussex, Sandy, or Meeks. We did just recently start to create the AI Learning Shift company page, if you will, like off of mine. So we have to develop some of those pieces into it with more of the resources and whatnot. Um,
That's everybody's challenge, by the way.
yeah,
How do we get our stuff like out there? Like everybody's working on that.
yeah. The book you can find on Amazon right now, and just type in AI Express, and it should be the first one that comes up still, I believe. Let's see what else. Um, yeah, you mentioned the website, which is a beautiful website. Lots of great
Email?
resources
What's your
there.
email? How do we email
Yep, you
you?
can get downloadable items from the book in there too. Email, so ailearningshift@gmail.com is a great way
Okay.
to get a hold of us. And in that book, you can also see at the very back of it has a bit of our consulting services or deliverables that we can support districts with, and through the social media, through the email, websites. I think there's a form or two that you can fill out in there to reach us and start a conversation with us. We'd be happy to explore how we can support a district's, in their journey. It'd be exciting.
All right. I have one final thing. Now that we know how to get a hold of you, Sandy, I'm going to put you on the spot. Please don't be mad. I'll give you, like, you have think time. But you said something the other day, I believe we were at iTech, and you were talking about why people need to get on the train. Or like they had three options, and it was very compelling. And I think that's a really great way to end this episode today. So, can you tell us about that?
AI is a speeding train, and if we think it's coming to schools, we're too late. It's already here. And as educational leaders, we have three choices. We can ride, guide, or step to the side. And if you ride, you're if you step to the side, your teachers and your students are on that train going far beyond you. If you ride, you're with them, but you have no control over the train and you don't really know where it's going and you don't know if it's safe. But if you guide and if you lead and implement with AI, you are in control of the train, you know that it's safe, and you have a vision of where it's going. And that's kind of what we do as AI Learning Shift, is help you guide your AI Express.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on this first live stream. Thank you those who watched and joined in. Otherwise, we will send out the recording and post it on social. Follow myself. I'll be posting about Chad and Sandy. I'm Mrs. Williams 21C. I'm on LinkedIn, Laura Williams, and then we have the Authentic Learning Alliance, which my goal is to promote change agents like Chad and Sandy here. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to the Authentic Learning Alliance, and we would love to get your passion area and expertise out there on this platform. So thanks everybody for joining us. This was awesome. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you guys.